not complaining.
Well, we decorated our table with memories. And what you see here is what we had at our house when these girls were this age over here. And we dusted it and moved it and stored it and packed it and moved it and cleaned it. And we're still doing that. And this is some of the memories that we have of when these four or these three were this age.
My table is Christmas. This tablecloth here is the tablecloth that we use every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, and anytime anyone special come over, like the missionary or the pastor, or someone special like that. So when the red rose tablecloth came out, you knew something special was going to happen at our house. However, we weren't allowed, sorry, Mom, I'm going to tell you, to use the napkins. And so she knew we could all groceries. So they don't quite that. And we also used to do it just like this, where this one wasn't quite big enough because there was 8 in our family, plus whoever came over. So we had to have 2 tablecloths, and Mom had one that matched. I just forgot to ask her for it. So I love Christmas. It's a wonderful time when we can remember the Savior. And well, that's my memory. We had a great time. Our family always was able to get together. We were always so busy with being involved in Christian school and working. Parents loved this. It's a wonderful time of year.
Sheila and I decorated the table like Filipino style, because we usually use straw hat decorating every occasions that we have, and this reminded me of my mother and her mother too, so far. Although they can't be here, they will know that they'll always be in our heart. We love them so much, and my mom is on vacation in the Philippines right now, and I miss her a lot.
Gary, go ahead, because I'll do the table color.
Okay, well, I decorated our table just from a tea party we had in the last couple months with my girls, and we had a lot of fun and made special pictures for them, and I hope to pass the tea set down to my daughter, she got it down her shoulder. But that's why we decorated what we did.
Does everybody have breadsticks? Okay. I'll tell you about this table first. I decorated it in Valentine stuff because I knew where that was in my closet, and we needed an extra table. Anyway, I think most ladies love Valentine's Day, and most little girls will look forward to that if they don't already enjoy it. But anyway, Valentine's special too. This one, I grew up, and I cried.
Here we go.
I grew up in the north, so we played in the snow a lot. Of course, some of you little girls don't even know what snow is. It's the little white stuff that comes from the sky. Sometimes it mounds up. You know, in Indiana, you have a lot, and we lived in Pennsylvania before we moved here. We had tons of it, but I just started collecting the snowmen. But that was a part of my childhood. And the dishes, excuse me, was my grandmother's. And so I am here today for her. And don't break it, Diane, okay? Some of them are chipped, but they won't hurt us to use them. But I know. But they're special, and to me, you can keep all the special things you want, but if you don't use them, they're going to someday rot anyway. So enjoy it, and we're getting the salads around, and as soon as the salad comes to your table, if the host of the table will stir that up and serve them, I would appreciate it, and I may need some help at this table. Would you help us at this table? Because I can't do it. We'll take care of serving salad to the ladies. You may want to put your food bowls someplace out of the way. That may need stirred up a little bit. So, and just enjoy yourself and visit, and we'll get this program going. And we'll
our swap twister's touchdown. From the way it looks and the damages, you know. We live like
The younger ones are interested in cake. And we know now who's won the contest, but I don't want to serve cake right yet. We want to have a little bit of the program.
I'm gonna eat one.
And, we were going to, the way I had it originally planned, right after we ate, we was going to ask the special music to sing, but we've changed that because we don't want to do that to them. So, what we're going to do is, since our theme is memories, we've, memories mean something different to everybody. And, some of them may be good, some of them may be things that you don't want to remember, but you still do. But anyway, they're still memories. And we have to make the best out of whatever happens in our lives, whether they're good memories or bad memories, because we have memories from yesterday, we're making memories today, and we'll have memories tomorrow. And we've asked the I don't know how to say this, the older women, the more mature women of the church, the ones in Joyce's Sunday school class, okay? even though some of them aren't real mature, we've asked them to help us on this because, like I told Rose, she asked me not to go with her first.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, I was going to
I will get over
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay. But like I explained to her, I says, her childhood was so much different than mine, and it's especially different than even from her granddaughter Laura. So I just want them to tell something special from their childhood, just a few minutes, not, we're not going to preach or nothing right now. Okay, Rose? So if you want to stand up, that would be nice, and talk loud enough so everybody can hear, okay?
Well, I told Sandy, I don't know, I wasn't too active, but I said, we live in a little town in Bunker Hill, in Illinois. And my mother and dad always believed that the children should all come home to play. And we had all the kids come to our house and play. Most of the time we was at our house. So we had a firehouse right close to ours. And when the fire whistle blows, that was time. Everybody had to scatter. It was time to go home. 8 o'clock, the whistle blew, it was time to go home. So we had a lot of little storms, tornadoes in Illinois where I live. And some of them got pretty bad. I was with two of them. And one of them, my mom said, why don't they come down and help us? We need help on our end of town. And we couldn't get out to the sidewalk to see what was up the other way. So by the time we got out to the sidewalk, we was lucky. Our house stood up the street, up towards Canada. It was all gone. But we lived through it, and we had Easter Sunday, we had church right in the middle of town. We had a little place with a circle, and everybody, all the churches was hit. So we all got together, and that was wonderful. Everybody was together. And the minister got up on the bulldozer, and he preached our sermon on the bulldozer. And he was so happy that we was all could come. And that's how our little town. When I go back home, I go to my little town, and I think, oh, what all we went through, but it's all growing back up again.
Okay, I'm going to ask my mom to tell. My mom grew up as a coal miner's daughter in Kentucky, and so you need to tell just a little story about. You used to tell me, Mom, when you go to school and go to the garden patch and the biscuits. Just. You don't have to stand up.
The only time I can remember, my brother and I would go into the kitchen. Mother always saved her cold biscuits. We grabbed a cold biscuit and we went out in the garden and got an onion, went down over the hill, down the railroad track, and we had the most beautiful picnic ever, even though we stole the biscuits. And what else was there?
You want to tell a little bit about your dad being a coal miner or anything like that?
Well, he ran a coal mines, and we had to move from the place where I was born, Providence, Kentucky, and we went to this God-forsaken place. And I can remember he had to take me to school. I went to school in well, it was a two-room schoolhouse. And one grade was sixth grade back to the fourth grade and fifth grade to the eighth grade. Well, when I got out of that schoolhouse, my dad had to drive me to school about 6 miles away. And so they put me back to the seventh grade. I had to take the seventh, eighth grade. I got 2 eighth grade diplomas. But I'm telling you what, I grew up in the Depression. And us kids was well clothed. My mother was a dressmaker. And so I had to stand in line for anything to eat because my mother saved everything and she could make the most beautiful meals out of nothing. And, when I was a kid. When I was 6 years old, I remember going to my grandma's house and didn't butter and milk for Mom. And I ate 2 pieces of chicken over there. I went home, Mother had fried chicken for breakfast, so I ate 4 more pieces. So I had 6 pieces of chicken. My mother used to say, Hannah Sue, do you want a new dress? And, oh yeah, who wouldn't,
Still does.
And I thought, well, she's going to take me to town and buy me a new dress. She said, well, look in the catalog there and see, what you want. So I picked out a dress. What she did was get her scissors and material out and cut it out and made it for me. I never had a boughten dress and never had a boughten coat till I was 13 years old. I had hand-me-downs. And I had a lot of food.
Now, Suzanne, how old is Rachel? Okay, we have ages from 17 months. Can I tell Aunt Sophie? Sure. Aunt Sophie is 90 years old. And so we're going to ask Aunt Sophie if she can tell us a little.
So many memories.
Good. Good.
I have 2 wonderful parents, my mom and my dad. And my father used to work the ferry. The ferry was a thing that went from Philadelphia over to Jersey, over to Camden. And it would be night work. And Mom and I would be together. So this one morning, my father comes home from work, and he had this goose. And Mom said, and we're living in the city. And Mom said, Conrad, what you got that goose for? He said, Lizzie, he said, that's going to be good. She says, that is too skinny. That's not got enough fat on it. Well, we'll feed it. Every morning, they would go down that cellar. Mom would hold the goose's mouth open. Pop would stuff it until it got real big and fat. And then they had a goose supper. I can't, there's so many memories, but that is one that sticks in my mind. I can't forget that because that's about the oddest thing I ever heard. They were And then another time, Mom and I, they were buying this house. Mom had 13 children. My mom had 13 children. They didn't all live, 7 lived. And, but they were all away. Well, 2 of them was learning to be nurses, and my other 2 brothers and that were being apprentices that learned trade. And Mom and I was the last of the Mohicans. So Mom and I were together in this house that they had purchased, and that was after all of them were pretty near, grown up. But they had so much built and things they couldn't get it. But this little house they bought, and when they purchased it, Mrs. Bauman had 3 or 4 children, and we had to get out of our house. And to get into their house, Mrs. Bauman would have to move. She was renting it. And Mom says, "Oh, Conrad," she says, "I don't want them she's got 4 children there. We can't do that." Now they put their stuff in storage, and we moved to South Philadelphia. And we stayed in South Philadelphia with my brother for so long until they got out of the house. And then I thought that was so nice. And then my mom went back again. But they were the best 2 parents anybody could ever have. And that's the story. I can't tell no more. I'm getting a little nervous.
Okay, she has a philosophy on living long. You have to ask her, I don't know. Can we? Sure. Do you have a philosophy on living long?
Well, I ate very plain, but all was good. And what was put on my plate, I had to eat when I was little. And I ate it. And I do it to this day. And I sleep good. I go to bed the right hours. And I guess I live right. I don't know. I hope I do. And, that's all. It's just living good, I guess. And eating good.
That's right. Okay, Ethel, Mrs. Shan, are you ready? What did I tell you to say?
When I was growing up, we went to school in 2 schoolhouses. First through 4th grade in one room, and 5th through the 8th grade in the other room. So we really graduated. I had graduated 3 or 4 times. Because we went from, as I said, from that one room to the next room. My 5th grade teacher, I can still remember her. She was an old lady. Her name was Mrs. Carmen. And she was so patient with all of us. I don't remember how many were in her class. I just know that she made a deep impression on my life. When I finally got into the 7th or 8th grade, there was a family that moved in near the school. And the older boy was kind of a bully, and my brother was, or is, he's not athletic, but he likes to get out and do things. But anyway, he made this bigger, older boy made a disparaging remark about my brother. And I fought him. I beat him up, I knocked him down, and got into like a little barrel pit, on the road. I knocked him down in there, and then hit him a 2nd time, or 3rd time. And then I walked on, and he went home crying. The next day when I got to school, he was complaining that I had hit him. And he said, "See, right here is where she hit me." Well, that's where he had hit me on my knee. And so, but I didn't have any marks on me that I knew of. out in the country. So we had no electricity, and we had no water. We had running water. I had Sherry on Saturday mornings, and I'd go down, probably about 400 feet from the house to get water in a bucket. Pick it up, put it in the tub or in the boiler, make sure there was enough coal or wood to start the fire, and I had to keep it going. And that happened every Saturday. And then my mother had a ringer washer, and after she got the clothes washed, I had to hang them up outside. Well, I got this one Saturday, I said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going after the water. Somebody else can go after the water. I was the oldest one in the family, and there was 3 or 4 others that could do it. And so my mom says, okay, if you don't go to, you don't work, you don't teach. So all day, I was in bed. Oh, I had to go to bed too. And I was in bed all day. That evening, my sister, she came in with a chocolate piece of cake. I said, nope. I said, you want to give me a little bite? No. But she went and got me another piece. She went and got a piece for me. So I did have something to eat.
Okay, the moral of that story is don't ever make Mrs. Sheehan mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my friend. Okay, Jenny, did you want to share something with us? I have.
Yeah, what? I guess I could share that. I grew up on a farm, and there was a large family of us, and my sister and I, everyone else's birthday was in April. My sister and I, we had a birthday out here in September. We really thought we were different because we weren't born in April. And I guess we were different. Anyway, we saved our money. We worked and we saved our money, and we bought this little white Poland China pig. And it didn't stay in a pig pen. It stayed with us. We more or less made a pet out of it. And of course, it came time to go to school. And you have to walk up the lane to go to the school. And we got way out almost to the county road and heard this oink oink. And our pig was going to school with us. So we had to take him back home. So Daddy built him a pen and we started having to stand. And I remember as a little girl, especially at my grandma Sweeney's house, we would have huge dinners. And not always did they have enough tables to place the food on. So they would bring out the sawhorses, and they would take the doors off of the hinges, and they would put the doors over the sawhorses, cover it with table linens, and fill it with food. And that I remember most, and I always got a small plate to eat out of, because I got to fill it up more times than you would a big plate. I thought I was really getting to eat a lot.
So we should be hearing about a poem about Jenny had a little pig one day, yeah? Okay, does any of the other ladies, I'm not going to put anybody else on the spot, but does anybody else want to share a story with us? Don't leave it back. Okay, there's something I just want to share real quick with you. I know who won the cake contest. Whoa. Whoa. But I'm not going to tell you right now, okay? Okay, there's a quote, 2 quotes I'm going to read to you that came from The Loving Heart, which is one of those little flip calendars, from quotes from Jeanette Oakey's books, okay? One of it says, if we savor the good times in youth, we can enjoy them again in old age. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? The scripture verse that goes with that is Psalms 145:7. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness and shall sing of thy righteousness. And then another one that I enjoyed was, quote says, in a short time, what is happening today will be the past you fondly remember. So it's important what you make your day. And the verse that goes with that is Psalms 143:5. I will remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works. I muse on the works of thy hands. Now God is so good to us. And let's do all we can to make good memories. And just remember, your attitude has a lot to do with your memory making. Okay? And let's do the best to make pleasant memories and to share them. Now I want to ask if there's any little girl here that wants to share a memory that they have, something that's special that you and your mommy's done. Does anybody have a, I didn't ask ahead of time, but does anybody want to share something that's fun that you and your mommy do together? Sorry, none of you kids have fun with your mommy. Shannon, do you have a memory? You don't? Okay. Well, I just thought I'd ask in case someone wanted to say. How about Amanda? Okay, I know you did hear her. She said washing the dishes with her mommy. And that is fun. It can be a fun time. And that's the time when you do that, is when you can share with each other. So that's neat. Okay, you know, Cheryl Ann's going to pay us $20 for a picture today. Cheryl.
I enjoy shopping with my mom.
Oh yeah, spending her money, right? Okay, is it Pamela?
My mom, I don't know, she like every weekend she lets us bring over 1,001 people over to our house and just lets them wreck our house basically. And then afterwards she always cleans up and the next weekend we say, can we do it again? And she's always just really willing to just jump up and say, okay, bring them all over again. I mean, we can do anything and break everything in the house. It's just still is just like, okay, they can come back over. You know, she's very willing and sociable like that. And that's really cool because, I don't know, she just gets on really well. And so that's probably what I'll remember about my mom whenever I get older. How many people she like come over to our house at one time.
She cleans a lot of that house, though.
What's the address? Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk back here